This is Reverend Ruth on Story Bar with Angel Healing Ministries. And I'm here back again. I said there was going to be at least one more. And there are others that I will share with you as time goes on because we have a weekend coming up. And I also want to bring up I will be starting a new job, a new position at a school. I haven't, I don't know what school it's going to be, but I'll be starting a new position at a school in the future real soon. And I'm still going to be doing my videos. I'll have more of my weekends free, so I'll be back. I'll be back out there, doing numerology scopes, things like that, readings, stuff like that. In on the weekends, just keep an eye on my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook page, and I will let you all know with what's going on and where I'm going to be in the future because I look forward to going back to what I used to do and stuff because I was working the weekends. I really couldn't do what I really enjoyed doing, which was helping others with my gifts of readings and numeroscopes, things like that. And I'm happy to be going back to it. I'm happy to start being the blessing for the people again because that's the reason I brought that up is all because the next thing I want to talk about is be the blessing. But anywho, but I just want to let you all know about that. I will be letting you know because I plan to be out there in public and stuff. So if you ever need like a reading or a pneumoscope, let me know. Again, this is Reverend Ruth on Story Bar with Angel Healing Ministries, and I'm hoping this video will find you safe and well and taking it easy and doing what you enjoy best. Thanks. Now, I'm going to talk about be the blessing. Also, our mission statement again is our mission. Our mission is, excuse me, my throat there. Our mission is to guide you on your path to find God while we support you with love and light and show you how important truth and faith are along your path back to God and show you how important truth and faith are on your path back to God. And it's so true. Faith is a big thing. And I mentioned that earlier. Faith is the motivation we motivate. It motivates us to do things that we truly want to do. It motivates us to follow our dreams and do for others, my friends. And that is why faith is good. It's also gives us the strength to believe it's a friend or a family member or a spiritual family member or your choice of a family member is ill because faith is a strong power as well, and it goes right along with prayer because I totally believe prayer works. And those of you who know, I've spoken about prayer in the past before, how the strength of it and all. But anywho, again, that'll be for another time. If in the future we'll talk about all that. In the meantime, though, I want to talk about be the blessing. And this was something Joel spoke about on his show on the January. It was January 28th at 10 a.m. and I believe it was Saturday. And he's usually on 134 on Saturdays, I believe, and then Sundays he's on Channel 9. Anyhow, he talked about how how we how we could be the blessing. How often being the blessing can be a amazing gift to somebody else because when we're the blessing, we're doing something for another person, but we're also doing something for us. It helps us to be the blessing. It's kind of also sort of walks in there with pay it forward, which will be something we'll talk about at another time. But when you're the blessing for someone else, you might be like the blessing or the answer to the prayer of that person that you're coming into contact with. Now, I might have spoken about this another time, be the blessing. If I have, then consider this a reminder of what we talked about a while ago. But when we're the blessing, and it's great when we overhear someone, overhear someone in need of help or something, or being there for you. It's always good to step up and say, if you can do this, be their blessing, their gift, their answer to their prayer. And it's happened before in a couple of stores, and I know something about some of that stuff. I've heard stories about it, about about a little boy, and I'm pretty sure you guys heard a song called "The Christmas Shoes," and that talks about the song is a beautiful Christmas song, but it also talks about how this person in the video, in the music, in the song, was the blessing for this one child. The child needed money for these these beautiful shoes, Christmas shoes, that because he knew his mom was gonna see God, was gonna go see God, go home to God. So he wanted her to look pretty, and he didn't have the money. When he laid the money out, he didn't have the money for these beautiful shoes. So the person behind him overheard the boy talking about this, and and what he did, he offered to pay for the shoes. You see, that's being the blessing for someone else. And I've done that for, other people, and I'm sure in your lives in passing you've done that for others. For example, uh, I'm about to move on to a new job, and there was this lady that was in the store looking for work, and I said that they will be, because it was my last day on Sunday of last weekend, and that she should fill out the application. She should come back and talk to Larry as soon as she can, so she can, so she can start working. So in a way, I was a blessing to her. And then imagine, and then how about I think I mentioned this once before, sometime in Arizona, where me and one of my friends was up on Bell Rock, and it was getting late, and we were getting lost, and we didn't know our way back. And I asked for the guidance of the nature spirits, and the interesting factor was the wind. We were going in the opposite direction of the wind, so I basically realized it was time to follow the wind. And when we followed the wind, it led us right back to where we were supposed to be, because a car pulled into the parking lot. Even though we couldn't see the path down, me and my friend, the car pulled into the parking lot and lit up the path down. So in a way, she was a blessing, and she was like an earth angel. And that will be another video. We'll talk about it at a future time. So you see, there are ways to be blessings for people. Like, for instance, as I said about that person, so, like if there's, and I've heard stories like this from on K-Love and on Air One. How about this for being a blessing for someone? You know how gas prices are really high, and during that time, somebody was needed gas, and they didn't have enough money. So the person behind them, filling up their car, offered to cover their expenses as well. So you see that again, that person was being a blessing for that person in need. So basically, being a blessing is keeping your eyes open, my friends, and looking for ways to be a blessing each and every day. And in some ways, there's a way to be a blessing to a sales associate too, because you know how they work so hard, the sales associates, and they do their thing, and they have those, sometimes they get the stressful customers, and they don't hear too often from a customer. And this is something I heard from a friend of mine mentioned this, that it's a good thing to compliment them on what they've done, because it gives them a sense of wow, I'm needed. I felt needed. So a friend of mine was in a store, and he was picking up some stuff for a church. He was picking up stuff for a church, and and basically, what was my point? Oh, he was picking stuff up for a friend, and he went in there, and there was a customer, not a customer, a sales associate behind a counter, who was having a really stressful day and a really bad day, and customers were giving them a little bit of an issue. So when he got up there, he basically said, "I am so grateful that you are here today, that you chose to be here instead of doing something else. We really appreciate you. Thank you for your service." And that made that person's day, that sales associate, in a way that that friend of mine from the fellowship, the multi-faith fellowship, was a blessing to them. So you see, there's so many ways you could be a blessing. For example, a homeless person, who, you know how they are out there looking for money. Well, here's a story I heard from another church, a Unity church, that I occasionally frequent, and they said that there was this homeless person, and one of their patrons that go to the church, the Unity church, felt bad because the person was hungry. So instead of giving them money, they decided to take the homeless person out for lunch and pay for the meal the person had. So once again, whoever that was from the Unity Church or heard that story from a friend was a blessing for that homeless person that day. So you see, my friends, there's so many ways to be blessings, like working in a soup kitchen to help homeless people have food. If you really, really open up your eyes and look around, my friends, you will see that there are so many ways that you can be a blessing for that person. Imagine how many times God has shown up for you with people that came out of the blue and helped you out and got you through stuff. They're all blessings. So maybe it's your turn to return the favor and pay it forward to be a blessing for someone else. So, my friends, when you're out there in public or even a family member you can do this for, or a really close friend, try being offer to be the blessing. Be the blessing and see what it does for you, my friends, because when you become the blessing, when you're a blessing for another person and you look into their eyes and you look at their face, my friends, you see how happy they are because somebody decided to say, "Hey, I'm here if you need me. What can I do for you? Let me be your blessing today," my friends. So when you're out there in the world, in public, look for opportunities to be a blessing for another person, my friends. We love you. Namaste. And this is Reverend Ruth Anstaria Bar with Angel Healing Ministries. And if you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. And always remember, my friend, take the opportunity and be the blessing for someone else that you may meet along the way. Thanks. We love you. Namaste. And have a beautiful day and night. And we'll talk to you real soon. And once again, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. We love you. Namaste. Reverend Ruth Anstaria Bar with Angel Healing Ministries. Take care. Love you. Bye.